Welcome everybody to the failure flops. Now this is going to be a little bit of a different type of video. I'm not going to be really talking about the production history, but I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on why this failed. It's just a new video idea, and if you like it, then please let me know. If you don't like it, then also please let me know. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. One of my main issues with this movie is with the very last movie, which is Rise of Skywalker. This is where Rey finds out she's a Palpatine, and instead of saying she is a Palpatine like she is, she decides to call herself a Skywalker. They decide to, make her a Palpatine and make the storyline just a little bit more interesting. They could have explored the Palpatine's, history more. I think they should have, put that she's a Palpatine at the beginning, because that could have changed the new trilogy and could have made it better. We could have gotten new characters that were Palpatines, and the last movie, Emperor Palpatine, was somehow alive. It could have been another Palpatine who, was a villain. Just because Rey is a Palpatine, it doesn't mean she is a villain. I don't know, if that's what Disney thought, but if they did think that, that doesn't mean that. She can't still be a Jedi. Just because she's a Palpatine doesn't mean she automatically turns into a Sith. Which kind of leads me to my next point. I think what Disney was trying to do, they were trying to introduce Star Wars to a new generation. I mean, the Star Wars movies are older now, they're 70s and 80s movies. I think what they were trying to do, they copied the storyline. In The Force Awakens, Finn and Poe land on Tatooine just like C-3PO and R2-D2 did. And then in The Last Jedi, conveniently, we get a Hoth battle, which The Last Jedi was, the second movie of the trilogy. And The Empire Strikes Back we also got the Hoth battle in that movie, and that was also the second movie of that trilogy. And yeah, I think the story should have just been, had more time on it. I think it could have been way better if we found out that Rey was a Palpatine at the beginning, because that could have made the trilogy way better. But yeah, that's what I think of the storyline. So let's start with Rey, the main character of this trilogy. There's nothing really anything interesting about her character. She's literally just Luke Skywalker in the new trilogy. To be honest, it kind of feels like Rey's an NPC that's just trying to be Luke Skywalker. And, she's succeeding. She's just like Luke Skywalker, in my opinion. Her personality, her whole purpose is just kind of being like Luke Skywalker. Finn, I really do not know why they wrote him as a character. He doesn't really seem to do anything useful at all. He's just the love interest for Rey, and that's really it. He doesn't really do anything interesting. Now, Poe, he's obviously the Han Solo of this trilogy, and then BB-8, it's obviously R2-D2. Now, it proves my point even further that Disney is trying to introduce the Star Wars movies to a new generation, is that they literally brought back Luke, Leia, Han Solo for The Force Awakens, and Chewbacca, and all of them for this trilogy. Now, let's talk about the big bad, Kylo Ren. My opinion on Kylo Ren is he's the worst Star Wars villain. He's just Darth Vader, but he's probably just like a horny teenager, really, and that's really it. He's not really that, spectacular, he's not really that cool. Once again, I kind of felt like Disney was just throwing together characters. They just thought of these guys in 15 minutes, and they're like, okay, these will work, these are our main characters. So why did I think these movies failed? They were just trying to be too much like the original trilogy. The stories, the characters, all of that, they were just ripped from the original trilogy. Literally the original characters were ripped from the original trilogy. Instead of copying and pasting the personality and character traits of the original characters to these characters, they could have made a whole unique different cast of characters, and it would have been could have been way better, introduce, people from, the Star Wars comics or something like that for, the cast. People we have never seen before. And, yeah, I think it would have been really interesting. Or just Rey herself, because, honestly, we do not need Poe Dameron or Finn, because, they're pretty useless characters. I think we can all agree on that. And it would have been more interesting if we got something more about Palpatine. I really think this could have been a way better trilogy if just Disney made an original cast of characters and, a more interesting story to the new trilogy with new characters from Palpatine's history. And honestly, I don't think they even need to include the original cast or whatever of, the original characters. I think it would have been even better without them, because it's just kind of lazy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I really like making this. I hope you all have a good one. And yeah, I think this is my longest video yet. So thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great one. See you later, and goodbye.